Okay, so today I have opened up the file named ESS underscore E3 underscore O3, and I'm going to show you some stuff with this. One thing is we need to be able to put sketch planes onto surfaces and create work planes on those surfaces so that we can sketch on them. Um, we should have talked about by now the fact that you can put a sketch plane on any of these origins, the YZ plane, the XZ plane, or the XY plane. And it's really quite simple. You just click on the plane and then hit Start Sketch. And then you're looking at this item from the surface of that work plane. Now, I wanted to just kind of show you something here. Probably get into this a little bit more in a few minutes, in a minute or two. But anyways, you can see that this origin goes through the center of this part. Now, if I wanted to draw on or use some detail in this area right here, what I can do is I can right click and then I can go down to the word Slice Graphics. And what that does is that just hides this right-hand half of the part. And then I can look at it head on if I like. And I'll use project geometry and I'll just click on any geometry that I might want to use. And I'll go back to my isometric view here. And what you probably don't know about this yet is that those lines, all right, I'll zoom in on this. This yellow line right here, that comes from that line. It's been brought forwards onto the face of the work plane. So I'm just going to finish this sketch. And by the way, you can delete things like Sketch 7 over here. I'm going to right click on that and hit delete. You can also activate Slice Graphics by simply pressing F7 on your keyboard. You don't have to do anything more difficult than that. Okay, so let's talk about setting our sketch plane, an active sketch plane, onto a surface. So like I said, we can put them on these work planes, but we can also put a sketch plane onto a surface. So in our example, my example here, I'm going to put it on this surface. In the exercise, you'll be working up on this top surface. I'm going to put this sketch plane right down here. I could put it on the side, I could put it on the end, but I can just put it right on that surface. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the tool for slot center point. I think that's the one you're supposed to use in the exercise, but I could be wrong. But anyways, so I'm just going to bring this out. Let's just go with 1 inch. And then I'll come up this way, 0.5. So in the instructions in the book, you're going to see you're going to create a slot of a particular size with particular dimensions. Now I want this slot centered on the width of the part. So right down here is a line. So I'm going to put in vertical between that middle point, and also I'll find the middle point of the part, and I'll click on that. And it did the wrong one, rotten guy. So I guess I'm going to want horizontal. Try that one. Horizontal. You aren't working. Oh, there it is. There it is. Now it's in the right spot. And then I would give it a dimension from that center point to here. I'm just going to put mine at 1.5 inches because I think that's just me off the top of my head. Now, I'm going to finish my sketch. So I created a sketch on that angled surface, and I just did a sketch and I finished it. Now I'm going to do the extrude, and what you'll see is that the extrude is coming out towards me. Right down here, these where it says output Boolean, these four functions are what they call Boolean outputs. And the primary ones we use are join, and we use cut. I'm going to use cut in this instance. You can also use intersect, and there's another one here for new solid, and that's a command I'm not sure about anything about. I have very infrequently used intersect. There were instances where I have used it, but it's not commonly used. But we will for sure use join and cut. So I just switched that to cut. I'm going to tell it that I want it to go through all, and I will say OK, and that puts that slot on to the part. Now, I did that slot right there just so you could see how to do this. You will only need to follow the instructions, and I believe it just has you put a slot up here on this top surface. One more thing before I stop is we are going to take a look at what's called other face cycling. If I put my cursor on something and let it sit for like 5 or 7 seconds, I can't remember what the number is, you're going to see that it pops up with the word face here. Now, if I go over to the down arrow and just move my cursor down, you'll see now that it highlights this circle. Okay, it'll highlight extrusion number 2, and it will highlight the hole. Now it depends on where I put my cursor and let it sit, what it sees. So right now it's catching the face here. It's getting that edge. It's doing the back face, I believe. It's doing that far edge, and it's doing the whole instruction. So that's called other face cycling. So you can also right click on this, and it's probably in here. I don't see it. But something I do want to show you on here that is kind of useful is if I right click and I say look at, it will bring me right around to that face. So if I put my cursor on here, right click, look at, it'll click on it right there. If I click on this one and do look at over here, I can do it here. And if I click on that one, I just click on that. I think that it will do it over here too. Not right now. Well, anyways, so there's multiple ways to do that, and of course I can use the little house icon to come back to my house. So that's how we work on exercise 3-2.